Habits cut both ways. This is message 462, and this message is dedicated to Heather Shirey in celebration of her 50th birthday today. Sorites in Greek means heap, Sorites. James Clear in his book Atomic Habits explains what is called the Sorites Paradox. It's basically a parable of a tipping point. One good or bad action doesn't create a good or bad life. But where is the tipping point? Will one drop of poison kill you? How about two? What about three? Or on the positive side, will saving $1 make you wealthy? Well, 10, 1,000? Where is the tipping point? So this is from Atomic Habits. Quote, there's an ancient Greek parable known as the Sorites Paradox, which talks about the effect one small action can have when repeated enough times. One formulation of the paradox goes as follows. Can one coin make a person rich? If you give a person a pile of 10 coins, you wouldn't claim that he or she is rich. But what about if you add another and another and another? At some point, you will have to admit that no one can be rich unless one coin can make him or her so. We can say the same thing about habits. Can one tiny change transform your life? It's unlikely you would say so, but what if you made another and another and another? At some point, you will have to admit that your life was transformed by one small change. The holy grail of habit change is not a single 1% improvement, but 1,000 of them. It's a bunch of atomic habits stacking up, each one a fundamental unit of the overall system. The secret of getting results that last is to never stop making improvements. It's remarkable what you can build if you just don't stop. Small habits don't add up. They compound. That's the power of atomic habits. Tiny changes, remarkable results, end quote. So, the etymology of Sorites is derived from the Greek word heap. Like he says, when you give someone a coin, that doesn't make a very big heap, but then you add another and another and another. And at some point, that additional coin makes the person wealthy. And so it is with our habits. It's not, as James says, the 1% improvement. It's the 1,001% improvements. Those improvements don't just aggregate, they compound. Compounding those tiny gains for 1,000 days, that creates real change. On that 1,000th day, we're actually 20,751 times better than we were on day one. And keep in mind, 1,000 days is only 2.5 years. But don't forget, 1% gains for 10 years in this hypothetical, and it's impossible to actually reach, but it's jaw-droppingly inspiring to think about the equation that after 10 years, you're a quadrillion times better than your current self. So in your daily disciplines, keep the decade in mind. You are creating heaps of change.